This is Maritime Morning. Ahead of the broadcast, fighting red tape, it costs us millions of dollars, and there is a way to fight back, to cut through the clutter. Right now, I want some final words on this biker gang dilemma. A biker gang has staked its claim in Nova Scotia. 8 members of the East Coast Riders were patched over by the Bacchus Motorcycle Club Saturday night in New Brunswick. Police officials are concerned, as are people who have followed this for a long time, both investigators and authors. Bacchus is one of Canada's oldest motorcycle clubs, with long-time links to the Hells Angels. Its members have been arrested in raids involving the Angels, and the club is respected in the outlaw biker world. Not so fast, says Billy, who is a member of the group, who is called in. Alex Kane disagrees with him. He's the author of The Fat Mexican, a biography of the Bandidos, Hells Angels' greatest rival. Charlie says Alex is full of it. He's also a member of the Bacchus Club. Andrew is a biker in Riverview, just a member of a Harley riding club. He is concerned about the image this provides to people who enjoy the sport of motorcycle riding. Stephen Schneider is a criminology professor at St. Mary's and the author of Iced, A History of Organized Crime in Canada. All right, I want everybody to get a last word on this because the topic has been pretty heated. Alex, you have been called out as overselling the Bacchus Club as a bad group. Your thoughts on that?
Well, very simple. If they can publicly acknowledge that they have absolutely no relations or association with the Hells Angels, that they're wearing the bottom rocker out of choice as opposed to, and they're not afraid of the repercussions thereof.
Okay, but you're saying that on the biker patch and in the underground world, this is significant. Having Nova Scotia on the bottom, or any province or territory, is a statement of claim, right?
That's correct.
And so, if Bacchus was not associated with Hells Angels, this would be a problem?
This would be a major problem, yes. Because they can't claim a province without having to defend it.
All right, let me go to Stephen Schneider to see if he can corroborate that, and then I'll turn to Charlie and Billy, who say they are members of the Bacchus Motorcycle Club. Stephen Schneider, author of Iced, is Alex Kane correct on this?
Well, again, not to sound too much like academic, but the question of whether the criminal organization, purely legal definition is no, they're not. They've never been charged as a criminal organization. They've flown under the radar for police for years. There's not a lot of intelligence on them. They haven't been a high priority. But people are defined by the company they keep.
Why was the clubhouse in Waverley closed?
In Waverley?
Yeah. The East Coast Riders used to have a club there. It was closed. How come?
I think it was simply because of police pressure, and they had 2 clubhouses at the time.
But why would the police pressure them if, as Charlie and Billy claim, they are clean? Charlie?
Well, I'm talking about the Bacchus Club.
Okay, well, East Coast Riders have been patched over. If you're clean, why would the police harass you, Charlie?
Your last word, Joy?
Well, sure. Like, for example, at your meeting, you had all kinds of police cameras there, and there was checkpoints where the authorities monitored who was there. If you guys are just weekend bike riders having some beers and enjoying motorcycles, why would the police give you so much scrutiny?
Because they got to draw a paycheck too. They got to have a reason for why they exist themselves. I guess I don't know. And they're talking about the bottom rocker. The reason why we switched the bottom rocker, we used to have Albert County on our bottom rocker, and we go down to the States to party with different clubs down there, and they're going, Albert County? Where the heck's that place? Right? So we put New Brunswick. That's how that all came about.
So you don't need to, that doesn't threaten the Hells Angels?
No, not at all.
Billy, do you agree with your brother in the Bacchus group there?
Well, for sure. And I'll clarify, I'm Paul from Halifax, Bacchus, right?
Okay.
And the East Coast Riders Clubhouse is being sold because if anybody knows about it, it's on a hill. And anybody who rides motorcycles, whether they're a weekend voyeur or rides them every day, motorcycles are hard to park on a hill. So that's why it's being sold.
And I called you Paul originally because you wanted to be anonymous, so, okay.
Yep, that's right.
I called you Billy originally, Paul, so there we straightened that out.
But if we're going to straighten things out, we may as well, right?
All right, so let's go to Andrew and River. You ride a Harley. Andrew, you're not a member of any biker club, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
All right. Your thoughts, sir?
Well, I was listening to the pre-programming of this show yesterday, and I thought it was kind of irresponsible journalism. It just seemed like you were spreading paranoia. I mean, you're talking about arrests and bikers. How many doctors, politicians, radio announcers have been arrested for one thing or another?
Okay, so you're going to compare. You're going to compare.
I'm
You're going to members of the media and doctors with bikers. Hold it, just a second.
Hold on.
You're going to no, come on, seriously.
You're tarring everybody with the same brush.
Okay, but hold it. Okay, let me ask you something, sir. Very commonsensically, Andrew, and listen. You know, you can strain things, but you talk to anybody with common sense, okay? I go to Tim Hortons and I sit down with anybody in there, and they say, tell me the difference between a Hells Angels and a doctor.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, sir, come on. Don't listen. Don't be stupid. Ralph in Lower Sackville, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring a point to Alex Kane. Read both your books, by the way, and enjoyed them. But there is another club in Nova Scotia with a bottom Nova Scotia rocker called the 74th Crusaders in the Valley. Most of them are a bunch of old men with old wings, and so obviously that throws out the theme that if you have that bottom rocker, it says Nova Scotia, you're laying claim, or they would have had trouble a long while ago because they've been around since 1974, which is why they're called 74th Crusaders.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Alex Kane.
They have the bottom rocker. Do they have a separate top rocker too with a patch in the middle? Is it a three-piece patch?
Yes, they do. You can look them up on. They have a webpage called 74th Crusaders, and you'll see.
They have a what?
They have a webpage called the 74th Crusaders. If you bring that up, you'll see that they do have that bottom rocker and the top rocker and the middle patch.
Now they ride Gold Wing, so
well, they
not
ride
a Harley.
The majority of bike. They're not a Harley specific.
That's right.
They don't ride Harleys.
Yeah, so they don't fall under the same category. They don't fit under the auspices of what we're talking about.
Not what you just told everybody. You just told everybody if you have a three-piece patch, you're.
And if they're old fellas, they've been grandfathered.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And, okay, everybody's we're running. Go ahead.
There's different clubs in New Brunswick. Got New Brunswick bottom rocker on it too. And I was looking at old club cards a couple of weeks ago. This woman showed me, and there was one there from the 70s, from down around St. Stephen's. I think they were called Satan's Slaves, and they had a three-piece patch with a 1%er patch on that too.
All right.
That was back in the 70s.
Okay.
Before the Bacchus even started.
Okay.
It started in 72, and this is before us.
Everybody gets the last word. Stephen Schneider, author of Iced. Go ahead first.
Well, I guess I'll just belabor my point, and then again, it's really up to the Bacchus group as well. I mean, they've obviously been tarred with a brush here, but if they can refute the allegations that they have strong ties to the Hells Angels, that would go a long way to sort of clearing their name. But at this point, there seems to be a lot of evidence that they do have a lot of ties to the Angels, and that their entry into Nova Scotia is for very strategic purposes.
All right, Charlie, a member of the Bacchus Motorcycle Club, what say you?
Well, the only thing I can say is that we've been around 38 years. Our record speaks for itself. And there's friends of ours that are in the Hells Angels that we've been partying with for the last 20 years when they're in different clubs. We don't turn our backs on people. They want to show up at our clubhouse, have a beer, they're more than welcome. As far as affiliation and doing drug deals, that's all a bunch of BS. Like I said, our record stands for itself.
All right, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Let's go to Alex Kane, the author of The Fat Mexican and Befriend and Betray, expose of the biker wars and biker culture. Alex?
He mentions the Satan's Slaves, who are now the White Rock chapter of the Hells Angels, by the way. They were the old catwalkers from the 60s, but they were the 1%er and the three-piece patch, and they were bad mothers. They were a heck of a group. But they're all Hells Angels now, so it's a self-defeating thing that he said.
All right. Are the Bacchus motorcycle group a threat, Alex Kane?
They're a threat insofar as parent company is a threat. And hopefully they will have the cojones to stand up and say, we will not do this for you. We will not do villainy in your their name.
All right. Billy, member of the Bacchus Group. Is the Bacchus Group a threat? Your thoughts?
No, I wouldn't say we're a threat at all, right? We're here to ride our motorcycles the same as we always have. People have known me around this. I've lived here my whole life, right? You know, nothing's changed except for the pats on my back. And, you know, I don't understand what all the hype and everything is about. There's a lot more things to fear out there than the guy sitting next to you at a set of lights with a motorcycle.
Thank you for that. All right. I appreciate everybody's contribution today. It was a fascinating segment. We'll continue to monitor the story of outlaw biker gangs and whether or not the Bacchus Group, they claim to be clean. We will continue to monitor the situation. When I come back, millions of dollars it costs everybody. It's red tape. We all hate it. It's time to fight it. We'll tell you how and whom right after this quick 2-minute break. Don't go anywhere.